So it looks like we're back here. I don't know what happened to the first hour of Couch Coach Live, but hopefully it is saved and we should be okay.
Shout out to Showtime season.
Shout out to Showtime season. Doing his thing out there.
Yeah.
So we did our matchups. I hopefully that portion is saved. If not, we pretty much had the advantage Seahawks when it comes to individual matchups.
Yes, sir.
Player most likely to win the Super Bowl MVP. First off, I'm a terrible host. We're gonna do our superlatives. Like remember when you were in high school, most likely to succeed, most likely, to be successful in life.
Yes, sir.
And but anyway,
superlatives. You ready?
So we have the player most likely to be named Super Bowl MVP.
All right. Well, I'm going with a wild card. I'm gonna go with Marshawn Lynch because he's the reason why they're in the Super Bowl outside of Russell's couple passes. That's if the Seahawks win. If it's the Patriots, I think it's going to be Tom Brady, and he'll go down in history.
Yeah, I'm actually, what's so crazy? I'm gonna go with Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch, and then, and I thought about it, and shout out to Dan Patrick. Yeah, I listen to him frequently, and he's gonna be presenting the Super Bowl MVP trophy to whoever, and he was like, I wonder if I might have to give this to Marshawn Lynch. Like, am I gonna be allowed to ask questions? And that's so funny. And I thought about that. You know what? And Dan Patrick can probably end up having to do that.
Yeah, it was funny. They was talking about it. I think it was a players only thing they had on the NFL Network.
Yeah,
I was watching it yesterday, and they were saying like, what would they do? And all of them, I think Marshall Falk was like, now a lot of times they ask him questions before the game. They haven't asked him a lot of questions after. Yeah. So maybe he will talk because he don't have to provide any scheme. He don't have to, he'll probably be more than willing. Plus, he's getting rewarded. So maybe we'll get a talkative Marshall.
And matter of fact, what we're going to do is, this is what I should have done. But we'll do it in a second we'll do a special fair and foul about Marshawn Lynch versus the media this week.
Okay.
So we'll do that one as well. The player most likely to be an unsung MVP, not saying that he can be the MVP, but he can have a great impact on this game.
Unsung?
Somebody I'm going to say not a these that's a good thing about this matchup. There's really no household names besides Brady and Wilson and Sherman and what have you, but there's a lot of guys in between that make a difference.
All right, well, for the Seahawks, I'll give you Luke Wilson because he's providing the blocking, and I think a lot of tight ends don't get the the credit that they deserve. They protect the wide receiver, they protect the running back, and then they help the receivers once they get the ball. They're blocked. So I'm going with Luke Wilson, and then another unsung for the Patriots. For the Patriots, I'll give it to Vince Wilson. Because he does interviews. He's a good guy, but he doesn't really get commended on what he's doing, and he's been playing for a long time now. He's got to be doing something. So,
most definitely. And also I have Brandon LaFell, the receiver out of New England. I think that's one of the things where, like we talked about earlier in our matchups, I really think he can make a tremendous impact on the offensive end for the Patriots. Also, next one, player likely to have a David Tyree moment where, I wish it's in a situation where he have like one of those, like a memorable play, not necessarily to win the game, but something like almost like a Odell Beckham type of catch or something of that nature, which not saying is going to decide the game, but something that you're going to be like, oh, I remember that because of that catch or something that happened, like the James Harrison touchdown in the Super Bowl when they played the Arizona Cardinals, something of that play. Who's going to have like that play of the game pretty much per se?
All right, well, I got a wild card for you. Russell Wilson catching a touchdown pass.
Who's gonna pass to it? Tavares?
Somebody.
Tavares Jackson?
It
We
might
see a little Tavares
wild,
Jackson.
I see a wild card play. I don't know how it would be done because you don't know
Yeah.
who they'll necessarily have behind the reins. But you know, it wouldn't have to. It don't necessarily have to be. It could be just a trick play where the receiver throws it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if Pete Carroll would do anything to score because when he had the kick the fake punt, I mean kick, and he threw it for the touchdown, like that was big.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. I think Russell Wilson would be mine.
And also, did we say
who was yours?
Mine's gonna be Julian Edelman. I think he's gonna do something that's electrifying. I don't know if it's gonna be a run back for a touchdown, special team wise.
That boy fast. Both of them boys, Amendola and Edelman is fast. But I mean, I know mine sounds a little far fetched, but just thinking about Pete Carroll will do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah. And also, defensive player likely to have the biggest impact, which I think you said something about. You said you were just saying Vince Wilfork, possibly.
Yeah, that was saying for the Patriots, and then on the Seahawks. I mean, the thing about the Seahawks, you know, I can't give it to one person because they all play as a unit.
They all play as a unit. That's correct.
Just to give a person, I'll give Vince Wilfork.
Okay, and and this one defensive player, I had Brandon Brown. Can possibly make it.
He might recognize some plays.
Possibly. Player likely to have an unfortunate #epic fail.
Tom Brady.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go with LeGarrette Blount.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not, because I mean, if he has that same attitude, and that's not even that long ago, that doesn't leave. You know, until you identify yourself, which he's not getting a chance to identify himself in New England. He's just doing whatever the boss says. So I'm gonna go with Tom Brady. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, it's a fail. He's been too many times. So for him, no matter what he does, even if he almost wins, if it's not a W, it's a fail. Correct. He's been too many times.
And I think I said LeGarrette Blount. I think it's just one of those things. Yeah, I think, and that could just be a fumble. It could be a situation where we're not saying that he's gonna make a.
But that's a big boy. I don't see him fumbling. But
I know.
Man, that is a big guy.
Yeah.
That's if I was on defense and I see him coming, I'll slide.
I give up.
Yeah, I'll just move out the way.
I'll just be like, hey, you need something?
I'm like, you got it, bro.
You got it, man. Hey, here you go. Here's a nice little. He can slide right here, man. Be like, you know what? Just like how they be sliding the DMs.
Don't act like you don't know.
Exactly. No, but anyway, we do our Super Bowl over and under. I'm telling you, we have so many this is very interactive. Well, we pretty much. I know, man. You get what you pay for. My bad.
We gotta get some Scotch tape on it.
Just go back to the store and get another one for $1.
I was trying to fix it, but I'm not Bob the Builder, so
it's all good. So we do our Super Bowl over and under. This pretty much I will make a declarative statement if it's either over or under. So first off, Tom Brady throws for 3 touchdown passes.
Under.
Yeah, I agree as well. Under as well. Let's see.
I really hope not, honestly. I mean, it's possible, but I just hope not because I don't want to see that type of score.
Russell Wilson throws for 3 touchdowns.
Well, what happens if you agree with it?
It was over or under. I mean, if is he gonna throw 4 touchdowns, it'd be over. If you think this is what you think, if he's is he gonna throw 3 touchdowns? You think is it over or under? How many? It's almost like a prediction. Like,
well, I'll go under because I don't think it's gonna be 4.
Okay.
But I think he's gonna get 3.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be the difference maker.
Oh, okay.
But see, I count a touchdown. It's even if he runs it in.
Well, no, this is gonna be passing touchdowns.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll go under then. We'll go under.
All right. Marshawn Lynch has 2 rushing touchdowns. Over or under?
Under.
Under. Okay. Yeah, it's under as well. LeGarrette Blount rushed for 2 touchdowns.
Under.
Actually, call me crazy. I say over.
possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
I just don't want him to.
Grunk has 2 receiving touchdowns. Over or under?
I'll go over.
Okay. This is an interesting one. We have the Seahawks receiving core racks up 190 yards and 1 touchdown combined.
Under.
That's okay. There will be 5 field goals between both teams.
Over.
Okay. There'll be 3 turnovers committed between both teams combined.
Over.
Okay. Patriots and Seahawks will combine for 45 points.
Over.
Okay. Revis and Richard Sherman will both have 2 interceptions. Over or under?
Under.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Man, that over under, that was getting hard. That was tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
That was tough.
It's brain teasing.
Yeah, man, because I'm like, some of the predictions you made, I agree exactly with it, but it's rather over.
But it's one of the things where it's like, just a brief. So, like we said, we're going to do a brief fair or foul. So, okay. As we all know, Marshawn Lynch pretty much, he addressed the media and pretty much they have the annual media day on Tuesday of the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And you are required as an NFL employee to at least talk for 4.5 minutes. So during the 4.5 minute briefing with Marshawn Lynch, he was asked a bevy of questions. Mm-hmm. And he said the same phrase 29 times during the 4.5 minute obligation that he had, which, and I quote, "I'm only here so I won't be fined."
Well,
and so to me, my question is it fair or foul? Well, not that, but I want to see more so of the outcry of how everybody's saying that he shouldn't be fined because he doesn't want to speak, almost giving him an excuse. Where the man don't want to talk, don't let him talk. So is it fair or foul for people to say that Marshawn Lynch shouldn't have to speak?
Well, I'll say it's foul for me is because that's what he's required to do. Now, I think if he's there, if he's participating, like even if he's still doing what he's doing, but he's not, like it would be different if he didn't show up. But he's still showing up and he's doing it, so, and everyone else has to do it as well. I just think, and this is reference to him, the Super Bowl questions or just any.
This whole, it's more of the notion of how everybody's upset at the fact that the people are coming down on Marshawn Lynch because he doesn't want to talk. Like, as far as there are people that are saying, well, the NFL shouldn't require Marshawn Lynch to talk due to the fact because he doesn't want to talk. That's where I'm more so of that. Well, that's really the genesis behind the segment, because to me, that's what it really boils down to.
Honestly, I don't think he should have to talk. But the only thing that I'm thinking of is just the fair factor in terms of, regardless if he doesn't talk, everyone else still will. So I think he should still have to do something. I think he should say something. So I don't think, to answer your question, he cannot. I think he should have to talk. So it will have to be foul for me because you have to say something. It doesn't matter if he only makes one statement. He can say that, I don't feel like talking, but he should have to say something. So it's foul.
I agree with you, foul, because to me, the thing about the whole situation is the outcry behind it. People, you have to understand, like, he is contractually obligated by the National Football League to say something, like to speak. Even though that, he gets paid millions of dollars to play this game, and he doesn't want to talk. Like, to me, it's just like I don't understand why everybody's so harping on the fact of, well, he shouldn't have to talk. It's required of his job to do that, and that's everything. And that's the thing. And we act as if like we live in this world where our jobs, well, we do it in our, our jobs provide for our families, and here say that there's aspects to our job that we don't like, but we still have to do it.
All right.
That's just like, I mean, you want to give a pass to a guy like that. That's just like, if like in our case, I don't like sometimes getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work, but guess what? I gotta do it. And the same thing for him. Shoot.
That's your job.
I'd rather talk for 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I would.
Than to be doing something like that. It's a part of the job, and we giving, and why should we give him a pass of that type of nature where, we're so defending him and saying, well, he shouldn't have to do this. But there's a lot of aspects in our personal lives, and we're not even making nowhere near what he's making.
Right.
That he had to sacrifice, and then that whole thing about him just saying, "I'm only here to be fine." I'm to a point where it makes him look bad.
Yeah.
To me, it's like it makes him almost like if you don't know him on the surface, if you don't listen to like how he talks, like when he does interviews stuff, it kind of makes him come across as very ignorant.
Yeah.
It really makes him ignorant, and that's one thing with him, and that's what disappoints me about that type of situation, because Marshawn Lynch is a very smart, intellectual individual. He's smart to a point where he would be able to, like, he doesn't have a good relationship with the media. Well, use it in a different way where he can, instead of just making these one comments about stuff and like, well, what do you say about this, Marshawn? What about the rushing advantage that you have over the Patriots? What do you think about Vince Wilfork? What do you think about the linebacking core? Or, what do you think about the Patriots? I'm thankful.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I understand, like, you want to keep it like that, and I even like what he did last year as far as he said, like, I'm all about that action, boss. Like, I'm just ready to play this game.
But that's where that's why he got to the point where he's at now. Like, see, I had to say foul because the way you asked the question. Yeah. But honestly, I don't think it's anything really wrong. Because see, that's the problem with just us as in terms of the black community. We're so afraid to be different, but he really feels this way, and it does come off as disrespectful, but he's not being disrespectful because he's not saying F you, he's not cursing, he's not using profanity, and he's dressing appropriately. It's just that it's something that he firmly believes is unnecessary, and I agree with him. They're just trying to pick things out of him and use it against him, and he doesn't want to give them a story.
I know, and I'm saying, like, even when he said last year about the situation, like, he can just say, I'm all about that action. I'm all about the action. I'm not, and he can say it in a way and that's the thing. It's almost like we give him a pass as if like he can't articulate something to a point where it can be lip service to a point where it's not a story. He can say like little stuff like, what, I'm not really concerned about that. Today I just wanted to focus on getting there's a ways to go about doing it without saying one statement thing, or he can even say like do a Bill Belichick route. I'm just focused on New England.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I'm gonna go all in a direction of what Arian Foster stated to Stephen A. Because Stephen A. had an argument where.
Now that's where I got. That's where I kind of thought.
You were more towards Stephen A. But I'm more towards Arian Foster. He's not being disrespectful. He's doing his job in terms. He's showing up, and I just feel that he's doing what other people are afraid to do. It's many people that goes up, do things and they don't speak their mind. You know what I'm saying? True. And and that's the thing that I respect him the most on. Because see, the thing is, behind all of that ignorance that he showed, he had a real good meaning behind it. They don't come out to him, to his charity, and talk to him and ask him stuff about his charity. They're just fishing for stuff. And for him, he's like, well, why won't you talk about something positive? So. But
he could do that. Like, he can say, well, guys, you should check out my charity, blah, 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 blah. He does that, what I'm saying. But just to keep it of that type of level, and it's just like, I hate that he does that. Like, as far as.
I got a question for you then. Clarify.
Yeah.
All right. So, in reference to, Marshawn Lynch getting fined and how quickly they are to fine him, Do you think it's fair, foul, that they're so quick to find him for what he's doing, but so slow to go and find a Bill Belichick for what he got going?
And I'm glad you brought that point up. It is a witch hunt on him, unfortunately, because I don't know if you remember, but they're actually thinking about finding him for wearing a beast mode hat at the media day, but Tom Brady wears his Tom Brady hat all the time. Every time I see Tom Brady, he has that TB hat on. Never subject to a fine from what I can recall or what I can remember. Because I mean, someone of his nature to get fined, I think it's something.
And is that Tom Brady hat? Is it an NFL hat?
No,
because I know that
it's
Beast
not
Mode hat
sponsored.
is sponsored by the NFL.
It's not.
No, the Beast Mode is. The Beast Mode is.
Oh, okay, but
that's
the
why
logo, the logo is not.
It's not a NFL logo, but
it's not. It's not
it's
approved.
NFL equipment. It's NFL equipment, so he can wear it because of this. His era is a new era hat, and it's from the NFL.
Yeah,
but it's just.
And I'm saying it's funny because they're quick to find him, but Tom Brady wasn't all the time. Like I don't know, but that's the thing I don't understand about that whole situation with that.
Right, and that's why, just to go back into the previous fair file, that's why I don't disagree with what Marshall's doing, because he's doing more exposing to what's being done than people realize, because he know he's a target, but he's okay with that. But what he's secretly doing, he's letting all of the things be. He's letting him be the whole attention.
Yeah,
it's no attention on anyone else. No one is questioning Russell Wilson.
Westbrook now.
Yeah. So he took all the attention to him, and that is good for the team, because the team could just focus on the team. Marshall doesn't care by making him the big scope of things, because he's all about the team. And he shouts out his team. He
about the action boss.
Yes, he don't mind being a scapegoat, because if you're gonna focus so much on Marshawn over this week, and you're not even coming at anybody else on the team, that's perfect. Pete Carroll's probably like, when he sees Marshawn, he probably gives him a high five.
Because it deflects the attention from, and he knows, and that for him, he know he can come up and play. So that's one thing. Like that's what I like about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll has, I call, a controlled rage. Like he allows his guys to have a controlled rage, which I'm very, very, very fond of that.
Yeah.
So so I guess this is the moment of truth. This has been a question that has been asked to me for the last 14 days at barbershops, fine dining establishments here in the area, barbershops, gentlemen's clubs. No, let me stop. All that. So, all right.
You don't have that. Well, I'll write it just for.
Okay. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you our Super Bowl prediction. So just give us 2 seconds. I'm so I don't even know.
You want to wait or?
You want to go with yours first? We're gonna go with yours first. Oh, and then your MVP. Put your MVP as well. Let me move everything out of here.
He's number 24, right? Marshall.
Who?
Marshall's number 24?
Yeah.
We got the Hawks 24-21, and I got number 24, Marshawn Lynch. But it could go to Russell. It's a tie between him and Russell, because Russell, I just really hope Russell comes out there and he's almost like the Barack Obama of the NFL, because he's not the average, black man. He doesn't party, he doesn't club, he's very spiritual. He's just like the poster child.
Yeah.
And he's just not your average African American, but gets the job done. Go ahead, man.
All right. And
I'm interested to see what you got here, man. Don't put no if or else. I don't want to see
No, we're not. I'm not gonna do this. And as we talk, I don't know if this first hour is gonna gonna picture up or whatever, but this 23-minute segment we did, we pretty much covered up what we did. This was a show pretty much where we dissected each matchup individually, quarterback on down to special teams and coaching. It goes down that type of matchups. It goes to who wants it more, who wants it all. I've always been told one of my favorite things I've ever heard in my life was when Rudy Tomjanovich, longtime coach of the Houston Rockets, a former coach of the Houston Rockets, and he said, "Don't ever underestimate a heart of the champion." As we talked, we said the Patriots. Patriots have great matchups. They got Tom Brady. You got LeGarrette Blount. They got blase, this, that, and third. I think on paper the Patriots have the best team. If we're looking at paper, Patriots will win this game. But football is about emotion, physicality, and it's about heart. Who wants it more than the other? And with that said, I have the Seahawks beating the Patriots by the final score of 24-23. And the pride of collegiate high school, Russell Wilson, will win his first ever Super Bowl MVP. He'll be the second African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl MVP.
Big.
Final thoughts.
Solid, man. I mean, that was my second. Like, it's gonna go.
I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, would not be surprised if Marshawn Lynch ended up doing that. Yeah. And we just did that for the sake if we didn't want to, I seen you did the Marshawn, I'll do Russell. But I got the Seahawks 24-23. This is gonna be probably one of the best games. This might go down as one of the best Super Bowls of all time. Yeah. This might be the Giants and the Bills circa 1991 Scott Norwood miss type game. It's gonna be like this. And honestly, and also piggyback to the people that wanted like a cold or a winter bowl. Honestly, I like that, but I don't like when nature affects the game. So I'm glad they're playing in Arizona or in Indianapolis. I agree. Well, actually, in some teams they can do it, but not the Patriots because they don't need any more perks to their liking. They're already playing in New England. Yeah, so no question. You still have yours written down? Oh, yes. Because what we'll do, we'll post these on. Well, you can follow us on Instagram, Couch Coach Live. You can do that on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter on Couch Coach Live. T. White, where can they find your Instagram? I'm calm but crazy. That's CalmbutCrazy Instagram. Yes. Yes, most definitely. You can hit me up on Instagram. I have a new name. I don't know why I did this. I went back to my teenage days. Mm-hmm. You can find me on Instagram at Gonheadbih. GONHEADBIH. Go ahead, Bih. And that's also on Snapchat for the Snapchat. Yeah, Snapchat. Yeah, hit them up. Combo Crazy as well. You will get a laugh. And that's all I have to say about that. Snapchat Scorpio King 12. The epic ball is life. Snapchat. That was epic. It takes a lot less muscles to smile than it does to frown. Stop correct. Frowning. So we will be back on Couch Coach Live. What we gonna do? We gotta give you a little bit of ride out music too. What you about to do, man? What you gonna show them, man? You listen to Couch Coach Live. Hey, we'll be back next week. The finale. Stay thirsty, my friend. Yeah. And we out.